Raphael Boson, thanks for joining us from Berlin. We hear reports that other regions or Länder in Germany could follow suit and do the same as Bavaria is doing. So toughen migration rules, you know, those asylum centers, this like local police. Have you heard of such reports as well?
Well, it's a complex picture. Germany has 16 states and they do maintain a different profile, each of them. Some conservative governed states are close to the Bavarian position, particularly in the east, Sachsen-Anhalt. But that's really not all there is. And so you can see moves in various regions to go in the direction, but I wouldn't say it's a uniform trend. For example, one of the key points of this new master plan on migration, this is this key project of the CSU Interior Minister, is to create these transit centers or transit process centers to, deport migrants. And so far, 12 out of the 16 states have not sort of signed up to this.
Now, we understand that there is also a regional election coming up in Bavaria, which is probably also why the CSU pushed for tougher immigration rules. They're afraid of AfD, the far-right party, having a win in this upcoming election. Let's go back to AfD. Is it like progressing nationally like it was? I mean, it did surge like a couple of years ago. Where is it standing, especially when it comes to immigration?
Well, unfortunately, the AfD maintains a strong profile, and they've gained some more percentage points in opinion polls since the election results. So depending on the poll, you see them between 15 to 20, up to 20%. So that is rather significant, maybe not totally out of the order if you compare it with other European countries, the Netherlands, Austria, and so on and so forth. But that is the potential there is, yes.
Now, what Germany is doing, or Bavaria is doing, when it comes to migration is not very different from what other European countries are doing. What is striking, it seems European countries are going at it alone. You know, there was this agreement reached back in June at the EU level, but when it comes to migration, national interest is stronger.
Well, the European summit at the end of June led to a very shallow paper compromise, and there are so many questions of how this is actually going to be put into practice. So in the longer term, it's really still a problem that nobody really trusts anymore, the mutual commitment that everybody really will follow a European solution and that there was actually a practical compromise and not just a paper compromise. So yes, there is this temptation to say we have to go it alone, and countries like Hungary that have pursued this line for a long time now claim, look, we are victorious, everybody is following their approach, and unfortunately they have a point so far. I hope we will get out of this, but right now this is the temptation many countries are taking and saying, first we have to control our borders, we have to toughen up our laws, and then, we are a less attractive destination for migration.
As part of this EU deal back in June on migration, there are still things you think will work out?
Well, there were two main proposals. The one to create external centers on the European neighborhood. I don't think that's going to fly. No neighboring country has been ready to do that. The other was to create a new system to redistribute boat migrants arriving in European countries, some kind of beefed up hotspots. And that's really the one thing Italy wants. And this is something that should be made to work very soon. The European Commission has presented a proposal. Now we need a coalition of 5 to 6 European member states to make this work on a voluntary basis. It doesn't look very likely at the moment, but I hope political will materialize so that we can kind of really avoid the next major crisis in autumn. And I think that's essential as a next step.
Some things can be still resolved and should still be resolved at the EU level.
Yes, and we really need to use the summer to have at least a coalition of 5 or 6 states to take those migrants, and there are not that many anymore, that arrive by boat to Italy, to Greece, to Spain, and to redistribute them in a different manner than in the past.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.